Hey, Chidorin. Hey. Everything all right? Okay, there we go. Twitch is loading for me as well. Hey, Bear. Is it though? Yeah, I think so. It's just being a little bit weird. Okay, there we go. Everything's fine. Let's go. Okay, so it's been 2 weeks since the Bloody Mary incident. The Academy is buzzing in preparation for the Feast of the Assumption, which will be held this month. This may be a religious school, but they still hold events like school fairs or field days that you'd see at any normal school. At the end of June, however, they hold the Feast of the Assumption. It's a festival which, perhaps because it holds a special place in this academy, seems to ignite a different kind of fervor.
はいはい、静粛に。とりあえずは挙手制にするから、意見がある者は手を挙げてから発言してくれたまえ。
Upper and lower classmen alike raised their hands at Yatsushiro's words.
スーちゃんは手を挙げないの？遠慮してたら目立てないよ。
The Sasaki twins, who are also in the cooking club, forced my arms up.
ちょっと万歳しているみたいになっているからこの方が刺してもらえるそうそう
They smile mischievously. I try to lower my arms, but...
おお、新入部員君は随分とやる気があるじゃないか。それじゃ聖母祭で何をやりたいか。
Not one to overlook something that seems funny, Yatsushiro calls on me mercilessly. I sigh, but stand up and say a dish that is simple and doesn't require much effort. My lifestyle has changed quite a bit in the past 2 weeks. First, I've become a member of the cooking club, and my Amitia partners have joined clubs as well. Mairi joined the club she was interested in, the art club. Rika chose choir. Rika really did push me to join choir, but I couldn't put myself in an environment where I'd have to see a piano every day. Oh, that's too bad. Yatsushiro and the Sasakis campaigned for me to join the cooking club when I refused Rika, and so I gave in. Let them cook, yes! After making my suggestion, I returned to my seat and object to the twins on either side of me.
もうやめてよね。全然考えていなかったから慌てたじゃない。いやー、なんだか手を挙げたがっているように見えたからさ。こういうところで目立ってスーちゃんはどんどん株を上げていかないと。
Stonks. Okay.
私は何を目指しているの？
They break into smiles. We've developed quite a friendly relationship, I think. That night in the greenhouse, they accepted what I said and became my first friends. At first I was afraid our relationship would be more awkward than before we were friends, but now we're back to normal. No, we're better than normal, and speaking more freely than before.
でも聖母祭か。名前は立派だけど、用意するものとか文化祭とそう変わらない感じだよね。出し物は通常の文化祭とそう変わらないけど、聖母祭では特別な催しがあるって聞いたわ。特別ってどういう？少しおしゃべりが過ぎるんじゃないかな。今は聖母祭で発表する出し物を一行しているんだ。君たちも一つ知恵を絞ってくれないか。
Though she's not mad, having all the upperclassmen laugh at me makes me blush. I hang my head.
君のクラスはバスキア教諭が担任だったね。聖母祭の成り立ちやら詳しい話を聞かされていないのかい？成り立ちについては詳しくお話しされていましたけど、具体的な話はあまり。あの人は教育者ではなく聖職者だからね。仕方ない。詳しく知らぬのに案を出せというのも忍びない。少し説明することにしよう。他の先輩方のご迷惑じゃ。なーに、乙女たちの放課後はまだ始まったばかりだ。説明をしている間に 他の部員は案を考えてくれればいい。それでいいね。
When Yatsushiro asks this, everyone immediately says yes. She definitely has charisma.
では、まず何を聞きたい？
成り立ちは聞きましたから、文化祭とは違う別種の催しなどがありましたらそれが知りたいです。
まあ君たちが内緒話をしていた通り、聖母祭といっても大体は文化祭と毛色が似ているものだ。違うのは主としているところが聖母様を称えるためのものということ。そして分かりやすい催しとしてはマリア様を担いで校内を練り歩くことかな。
校内を練り歩くって、
象を担いでわっしょいわっしょいってそいつは面白そうだ。だがまあそうじゃない。校内で決まったルートがあってね、選ばれた生徒らが花をまき、その上を聖母像を祀った出汁が通っていくんだ。聖母役の生徒も一緒にね。まあちょっとしたパレードのようなものだね。
それはまた。
Oh, excuse me. It sounds brilliant, like a parade from a fantasy world, but more solemn.
パレードを終えた後、聖母像を聖堂に安置し終えてからは通常の文化祭と変わらない。まあ宗教学校ゆえ出し物は落ち着いたものが多いけどね。そして日が落ちる刻限になった頃、聖堂に集まり聖歌を歌うのさ。
聖歌。
I remember the song I was made to play before.
歌はトータプルクラ、マリア様を称える歌さ。伴奏者と歌い手が全生徒の前で披露するというのがまあ変わったところかな。
I nod. I'd thought it was the same as the school fair, but these 2 points alone make it quite different.
それで他に聞きたいことはないかな？
What is the Council of Nicaea going to do? Will he be playing the part of the Virgin Mary? I think it's the first one, but... Oh no, actually the question, the right answer is, will you be playing the part of the Virgin Mary? The unhinged one. Okay. The comment about someone playing the role of the Virgin Mary hangs in my mind.
聖母役は八代先輩がされるのですか？
I ask. For some reason she blushes slightly. Her skin is so pale, it's easy to see. Then slaps my shoulder in a familiar way.
嫌だな、そうか。からかってはいけないよ。少し。聖母役に選ばれた者は聖母祭の最後に聖歌トータプルクラを歌うのさ。伴奏者と2人の共演でね。そして共演した2人は結ばれるという。
I can only nod suspiciously because, well, it is a romantic story, I still don't quite understand why Yasushiro is blushing.
合唱部の代表ネリーは君に伴奏者として目星をつけていたね。君が伴奏をするなら僕と
I finally understand what she's trying to say, and I also blush. That is to say, it sounded like I was asking Yatsushiro to be lovers.
参ったな。あまり正攻法で言われるのは慣れていないのだが。
そうじゃなくて。はい、そこまで。そろそろ部の出し物について話を進めましょう。
I look up with a red face at this interruption and see everyone in the club glaring at me.
そうですね。早く出し物を決めましょう。
We go on to discuss what kind of food we'll present. Meanwhile, the question of what to present as a class remains undecided.
ねえ、スオさん。料理部では何をやるか決まった？
Rika, the class president, appears troubled.
実はまだ決まっていないの。当然料理を振る舞うのは決まっているけど、本格的なお料理かデザート類にするか意見が割れてしまって。
そうなの。料理部もまだなのね。いけないことだけど少しほっとするわね。
I can't help but giggle a little at the sight of her in her leotard with her shoulders slumped.
あ、笑うなんてひどいじゃない。すごく真面目に悩んでいるのに。
ごめんなさい。なんだか衣装とミスマッチで。
どうしてもレオタード姿が似合わないのよね。スオさんみたいにスタイルが良ければいいんだけど。
She looks me up and down, making me blush.
もうリッカさんだって似合っているじゃない。私バレエが上手ですごく憧れているのよ。
そうなの？それは嬉しいわ。
We both blush awkwardly. Then,
授業も終わったんだ。そろそろ着替えてって何もじもじしているんだ？
いえ、少し
褒めてくれたから照れてしまったの。それで何の用？
ずいぶんな言い方だな。もう私たちしかいないから早く着替えようって言いに来たんだよ。それより一体何を話していたんだい？
そのレオタード姿が似合うって。
違う、そうじゃない。それより前さ。まさかお互い褒め合って着替えるのが遅れたってわけじゃないだろ？
I guess a little bit. I blush even harder at her comment and tell her that we haven't yet decided what to do for the feast.
ああ、クラスの出し物ね。確かに放課後あれだけ話したってのに決まらなかったもんな。
みんな好き勝手を言うから、食べ物関係なら許可を取らなくてはいけないし、例えばすごく嫌だけどお化け屋敷をするにしても暗幕を頼まなくてはいけないでしょ。そろそろ決めなくちゃまずいのよ。
まあまだ焦る時期じゃないけど、何をするかまで決まってないのはまずいかもね。
まゆりさんの美術部はどんな出し物なの？
うちは普通に今まで描いた絵を展示するのさ。まあ私の提案でパーティションで区切って迷路にすることにしたけどね。
それすごく面白そうだわ。
だろ？普通に展示するだけじゃ足を止めないと思ってさ。まあうちは今日暗幕と迷路用のパーティションの見積もりを出して申請をすればとりあえず終わりかな。
I sigh deeply at Mayuri's words.
いいわね、そっちはすぐに決まって。
部として何をするかが決まっているから比べても、私の方もとりあえず料理を作るのは決まっているわけだし、クラスの出し物を同じには比べられないわよ。
そうよね。慰めてくれてありがとうね。
She gets misty-eyed and squeezes my hand. As she closes the distance between us, I'm strangely aware of the way her fragrant scent tickles my nose.
それで今日の放課後はどうしようか。残って出し物を決める？
そうね、お茶会もしたいけれど公庫の憂いを払ってからしたいものね。でも挙手制だと決まらないし、どうやって決めれば。
Narrow it down to 2 choices. Decide by authority as class president. I guess narrowing it down? Yeah, that's the one. Authority as class president. Okay. That's a little bit dictatorial. I tell Rika the idea I thought up when I heard how Mayuri's club made their decision.
まずは2択にすればいいのよ。
二択って何と何を？
みんなから意見を聞くにしても、方向性を定めないと何がいいか悪いかもないでしょ。まゆりさんの美術部のように、まずは絵を主題にするように決めるのよ。
それを決めるための挙手制で
だからまずは食べ物系か演目系かどちらかを多数決で決めたらどうかしら。食べ物なら派生するものも定まってくるし、演目系なら何かの展示だとか演劇だとか方向性が決まってくると思うの。
そうか、そうね、それはいい考えだわ。
I'm glad I spoke my mind. She squeezes my hand while jumping up and down happily, and the way the skirt of her leotard sways makes me feel strange.
それじゃあ早く着替えてみんなに集まるように言っておこう。他の子も部活動があるだろうし、早めに出席するように言っておかないとね。
はい、それでは聖書の歴史を展示物として見せていくということでよろしいですね。
Everyone who has gathered after class nods and agrees.
ようやく決まった。
We narrowed the class project down to 2 choices and put it to a vote as I'd suggested. It was decided that we'd do a performance, and from there we discussed whether to do an exhibition or a presentation. In the end, we settled on an exhibition centered on the Bible. I'm sorry, but that sounds like the most boring thing ever. Since it is appropriate for a missionary school. Yeah, I get it. Although we all refer to it as the Bible, it actually consists of 2 books. One is the Jewish Old Testament, which tells of the covenant between God and his prophets before the birth of Christ. The other is the New Testament, which contains the words and miracles of Christ that were recorded by his disciples after his death. Then there are the Dead Sea Scrolls, ancient manuscripts often referred to in movies and novels recorded in the 1st century BC. A Greek translation was commissioned in the 4th century and resulted in the Septuagint? Okay, I've never heard of this one. Famously compiled in Alexandria. We call it by the single word Bible, but it really contains many different documents. Our plan for the class project is to display copies and borrowed items in an easy-to-understand way, along with our own notes on the background to the texts, taking into account the era and people who wrote them.
なんだか面白くなりそうね。
本当にそう、スオさんのおかげだわ。
I had been spacing out and turned around in a panic. At some point, all of my classmates have left the room in small groups for their club activities.
もう割り振りは終わったの？
ええ、部活をやっていない人や部活をしていても手が空いている人を中心にクラスの出し物を用意することに決まったわ。
Wait, why am I hearing that sound? That should have been blocked. Wait. I need to smell. There we go. Sorry about that. That was me. Alright.
これでようやく始められる。スオさんのおかげよ。
そんなことリッカさんがまとめてくれたから、最後はきちんと意見をまとめていたし。
そう言ってくれると嬉しい。ねえスオさん、部活動で忙しいのは承知しているのだけど、
何かしら？
聖書の考察をしている関連本のピックアップを頼めないかしら。指標が欲しいの。でも一人でするのは大変そうで。
Of course I'll help. I'll help if I have time. I guess we help, right? Yeah, we help. That's true, I think.
手が空いている人が重点的に手伝いをすると言っていたけれど。
Rika is a member of their choir club. It must be difficult trying to run the whole operation in her spare time.
あ、ダメだったらいいの。ごめんなさい。無理を言って。
そうじゃないの。リッカさんも部活動をしているのに大変だなって。それなのに一生懸命だからすごいって思ったの。
スオさん。
だから私の手が必要ならぜひ協力させてもらうわ。
ありがとう、スオさん。
She hugs me suddenly, and my bashfulness rears its head again. Her warm body, her faint citrusy scent, her hair touching my neck. I tried to think of what to say while feeling the warmth of her body, and she smiles at me.
あのね、スオさん。私ね。何？最近あまり話せなかったから、こうして二人きりでお話ができて嬉しいの。それは。
Her words seem accusatory, but I take a step back in panic to defend myself. Sorry, and I take a step back.
話せていなかったのは聖母祭で忙しかったからよ。別にタイがあってのことじゃないわ。それに寮では話しているじゃない。そうだけど、まゆりさんもいるし。
That is the problem.
ああ、やっと見つけた。
Someone slams into my back and sends me flying forward into Rika's chest.
こんなところでイチャイチャして、会議が終わったらすぐ料理部に集合だって話していたじゃない。そう、抱き合っている場合じゃないですよ。ごめんなさい。
I feel my face go hot as I hastily pull away.
それじゃあ早く。
あ、待って。スオさんには聖書のピックアップを頼んでいて。
それってさっき会議で部活動に入っていない人か空いている人が手伝うって決まったことだよね。それじゃあスオちゃんは弾かれるよ。だって今から大切な多数決の選挙があるし。
そうかもしれないけど。
ダメ、この子はうちの子ですから。
She's ours. They tug me by the hands. They're so cute. I end up being dragged away pathetically from an indignant Rika. Cute. I can just picture it. A few days have passed since I was asked to pick up some books related to the Bible.
お話が。そのことだけど。
はいはい、急いで急いで。踊り子には手を触れないでください。
スオさんはあなたたちのものじゃ。よかった。できれば新約聖書の東方の三博士について詳しく書かれている本はあるかしら。はいはい。確か前に読んだものの中に面白い説を書いている著者がいて。
著者もいいけど、今日は八代先輩も来る。先輩をお守りできるのスオちゃんくらいだし、早く行かないと。
でもまだ図書委員の仕事が。
時間的にはもう閉めてもいい時間。
ね、あなたたちいい加減に。
Are they running interference or something? What's happening?
本当は。
Rika says that she didn't really want to talk about work in our off time, but we'd made a promise as Amitie partners to not talk shop in the dorm, but it is what it is. I tell her that it can't be helped, and lay the books she asked for out on the table.
だいたいこの本の付箋が貼ってあるところを拾っていけば提示する議題と解がわかるようになっているわ。ありがとう。これならなんとか間に合いそうだわ。部活の方でも忙しかったのに悪かったわね。
I'm about to brush it off humbly when the creak of the door cuts off my words. Rika, perhaps fed up with being interrupted so many times, lets out a sigh.
ね、さすがに。
Maybe it's just poor Mayuri coming to her room.
さすがになんだい？
なんだ、まゆりさんだったの。
なんだはないだろう。同室だってのに。これって。
She flips through one of the books I've brought and nods to herself.
へえ、名画から紐解く聖書の謎か。アダムにはへそがない。そうだったかな。あまり注意して見ていなかったよ。
あら、宗教学校の美術部にしては少し散漫じゃない？
まあ宗教学校だからって宗教画ばかり描いているわけじゃないからね。
そうなの？なんだか変な感じね。
そうかい？それを言うならここでプライベートな仕事を持ち込んでいる方がおかしく思えるけどね。
Mairi probably meant it as a joke, but the always serious Rika doesn't take it that way. She's about to retort indignantly when I see her restrain herself, realizing her anger is her own fault.
そういえば美術部の出し物の方はどう？もう用意はしているの？
ああ、パーティションに絵を飾り付けるのは終わったかな。でも聖母祭が始まる前日までは迷路を作るわけにいかないし、最後は突貫工事になるだろうね。
そう、そっちも意外とギリギリみたいね。
さすがにうちのクラスよりかは切羽詰まってないよ。用意だけしておけば人海戦術であとはどうとでもなるからね。
その言い方だと。
え？
いえ、なんでもないわ。
I don't understand what's wrong with Rika. I take it you won't be helping us. I barely hear the end of her sentence. Ah, I see. It's a little bit conflicting to me that everyone is expected to be in a club, so the people who are not in clubs are few and far between. I would think, at least from how they presented it in the beginning. But then everyone has to make a project both with their club and with their class. So then who is left to like help with both? If two people can't be in two places one person cannot be in two places at once. Yeah, I don't know. It's not Mairi's fault. You also have your club, Rika, right? So you would also be busy with that. And Suo has the cooking club, and like I don't understand how this is supposed to work in theory.
悪いが聞こえなかった。もう少し大きな声で言ってくれないかな。
いいの。もういいのよ。
私は良くないよ。
Stop, Mairi. Make tea for Rika. Oh gosh. The choice is to make tea for Rika. Okay. Ah. I feel the air in the room grow tense. It reminds me of my interactions with my stepmother, and I begin to feel ill.
私が何とかしなくちゃだわ。
I haven't had tea in so long. It's so hot outside that I don't feel like drinking a hot beverage. I know how this will end. I can just stand and watch, so I force myself to speak in a cheery voice.
紅茶でも飲まない？
I say.
気を利かせてくれたんだろうけど、今は。
スオさんが入れてくれるの？
ええ、以前リカさんから教えてもらったし、そうだ、八重垣さんから伝授してもらったロシアンティーでも入れてみようかしら。
ちょっと。
スオさんの気遣いを無にするつもり？
それは分かったよ。この話はこれでおしまいだ。
I don't know if this helped the situation, because they stopped talking about it, but deep inside they're still bothered by it, so I watch her plop down in the chair as I head to the shelf where the tea is.
でも、まゆりさんじゃないけど。
She's acting strangely. I address Rika, who looks tense.
私も手伝えるところは手伝うし、ピックアップだけじゃなく、何か力仕事とかでも大丈夫だから何でも言ってね。
I say. Her grim expression softens a little.
ありが。料理部の出し物で話があるんだけど。
The door flings open, accompanied by the cheerful sound of my friend's voice. I'm delighted to have a visit from a friend, but
いい加減にして。
The warmth in my chest freezes upon hearing my Amitia partner's cold voice. Oh, so you're fighting again, Yaigaki says brusquely. I let out a small sigh at my desk where I'd been organizing library books. But it's just that I don't really want to talk about it. The wheels squeak as Yaigaki pulls up next to me and tosses a book onto the desk. When I take the card out from the book's back cover, Yaigaki's name is written there.
いつものことすぎて喋りたくないか。まあ女子校だものな。喧嘩の一つや二つはあるよな。
喧嘩なんかじゃないわ。
お、ようやく喋る気になったかい？訳を話してみろよ。解決してやる気はないが、こういうのは古来から人に話せばすっきりするらしいぜ。
Seeing that she really is enjoying herself, my feelings of impatience disappear, and I tell Yaigaki about the events of the night before. At first, she was probably just annoyed about being interrupted so many times. Give me a break, you all talk plenty about club activities. I'd mistaken her terse words for banter among friends. What's the problem? I mean, you're getting her to help you too. What, are you jealous? I'm not really following who is saying what here, but okay. I don't know which words were the trigger, but her face flushed crimson, and she swept the books from the table, sending them thudding to the floor. Ooh. That's when we finally realized that she was not her usual self.
落ち着いて。タイがないってことは分かっているだろ。
落ち着いているわよ。
参ったな。とにかくここは私が収めるから、イチゴたちは出て行ってもらえるかい？
うん。ですね。
ちょっと待って。その言い方だと私が悪いみたいじゃない。
確かに佐々木さんたちの言い方が悪いのは認めるけど、立花の態度も悪いよ。本当なら一言互いに謝って済ませた方がいいと思う。
私が謝る？なんで？
それもわからないのか。
The air grows tense at these words, and my heart starts to pound. The Sasakis didn't mean any harm either. You're being too harsh, matey. I'd say this. Because they really didn't. Yeah, that's the one.
あのね、立花さん。
I turned towards Rika's rigid back, feeling the pressure to say something.
佐々木さんたちも悪気があって言ったんじゃないと思うの。いつもあれくらいのことは言っているでしょ。だから。
もういいの。そうね。
I feel relief at Rika's calm manner of speaking.
そう。スオさんも佐々木さんたちの味方なのね。
おい。
After I tell her the gist of what happened last night,
へえ。
she puts her hands behind her head and looks up at the ceiling with interest.
へえって、八重垣さんが聞いたんじゃない。
だから感想が「へえ」だよ。予想の範疇だからのリアクションさ。ふん。だから教室の中の雰囲気が最悪だったのか。
クラスへ顔を出したの？八重垣さんが？
自分のクラスだ。そんなに驚くなよ。ま、顔は出しちゃいない。別件で通った時に眺めたのさ。そうしたらツヤみたいな雰囲気じゃんか。だから聞いたってわけ。
そう。
I had library duty after class and couldn't go help, but I guess they still haven't made up.
どうしたらいいと思う？
もしかして私に聞いているの？人間関係の機微を私に？
You're right, I mutter then.
いや、納得されても立つ瀬がないけどな。立てないけど。
She says these self-deprecating words and smiles like a cat. I know her well enough to know that it would be a bad move to try to say something nice, so...
立つ背の背は背中の背じゃないわよ。
I say...
知ってるよ。自虐風ジョークってやつさ。
She once again bears her sharp canines. Oh my god. And a smile. It makes me smile too, and calms down my panicked heart a little.
見ない顔だな。
She stops smiling and narrows her eyes like she is trying to determine whether this person who has arrived in the library is someone who will feed her or kick her. This person is...
こんにちは、スオさん。
Oh, hello. It's the vice president of the Council of Nicaea with her fine, doll-like facial features, luxurious golden hair, and jade-colored eyes. Nerine Komikado, who is so perfect she almost doesn't look real. The setting sun shining through the window makes her hair glitter like real gold, just like the day we first met. Her paleness is made even more striking by the blush staining her cheeks. I can't take my eyes off her, but I manage to return her greeting and introduce her to Yaegaki, who is staring at Komikado curiously.
彼女は私と同じクラスの八重垣エリカさんです。あら、あなたがお会いできて嬉しいわ。
こっちも目の保養をさせてもらって喜ばしいよ。こいつから美人だと聞いてたからどれほどかと思っていたけど、確かにこいつはなかなかだ。
八重垣さん、ごめんなさい、ぶしつけで。そんなに悪い人じゃないんです。いいのよ。楽しい友人のようね。譲り派が気に入りそう。
Yes, that's for sure.
友人ではないよ。承知仲間だ。
あら、そうなの。でも本がつないだ友達なのね。素敵だわ。
Rejected. Yaegaki's face seemed to say that she has some complaint she wants to say. But perhaps she decides it's too much trouble as instead she asks, "Aren't you the president of the choir?"
ええ、興味があるのかしら。
Book zoned, yeah.
どっちかっていうと合唱部というよりそっち方面での噂かな。前にこいつが七不思議を調べていたろ。それで有名どころの血まみれメアリー、さまよえるウェンディゴ、そして寄宿舎のシェイプシフターは分かっていたけど、その後真実の女神ってのが出てきた。
She asks and I nod. The Seven Mysteries. It brings to mind the events from the past.
その中の真実の女神なんだけどさ、それって聖母祭と関わりがあるって聞いたんだけど。
I watch Komikado, who is caught off guard by the sudden question. Perhaps because she likes this kind of talk, she clasps her hands together and says, "You're exactly right."
私も聖母祭という聖なる日が七不思議として組み込まれているなんてと思っていたけれど、お祭りというものを日本的な捉え方をすればあまりおかしいことではないのかもしれないわ。もしかして沈めるという意味でですか？やっぱり詳しいのね。そう、お祭りは神社に祀っている神、その土地の地鎮、もしくは悪しきものを払うという意味合いもあると聞くわ。
それって悪いものがいるっていう前提だものな。聖母祭も祭りってところだけ抜き出されて、日本的風習から七不思議の一つとして組み込まれたのかね。
良くも悪くも何でも受け入れるのがこの国の風土だから。聖母祭は祝福のためのものだから日本的お祭りとは別種だけれど、八重垣さんの推察の通りお祭りというところだけを抜き出され加えられたのかもしれないわ。
I'm surprised to see how engaged Yaegaki is in this conversation about the occult.
女の子なら当たり前か。
The occult was really popular among the girls at my previous school. It's probably not strange that both Yaigaki and Komikado like it.
そうか。消えたとしても、それはそれで筋が通るのか。
消失してしまった方が喜ばしいとなるわけだから。
It seems I've missed an important point. No, more importantly.
コミカド先輩、今日はどんな本がご入り用で？
ああ、そうなの。本を借りに来たのではなくて。
Ooh, is she here to ask her to play the piano? Her celadon eyes lock with mine.
スオさんにお願いがあってきたの。聞いてもらえるかしら。
Hmm?
それは私ができる範囲でなら。
そう、前にもお願いしたことなのだけど。
Ah, from her wording, I know.
聖母祭でのピアノ伴奏をスオさんに頼めないかしら。
I feel my heart stop as she asks for the impossible. Ask her if there's anyone else who can do it. Flatly refuse. Maybe flatly refuse is a bit too much, so the other one? No! Oh god, we actually have to flatly refuse. Okay. Okay. I feel bad because she's so sweet. I feel her staring at me, pleading with her eyes. However,
私は弾きたくありません。
I wouldn't be able to bear the nauseous shortness of breath that comes just from imagining the piano.
そうね。以前もあまりやりたくないような振る舞いだったものね。
You need a little bit of exposure therapy, girl. You can't live your life just running away from pianos. Feels bad.
すみません。
でも、それを知っていてもお願いしたいの。
The beautiful vice president of the Council of Nicaea looks grave. I dubiously ask her why.
実はね、昨日聖母祭で伴奏をしてくれるはずだった部員が怪我をしてしまったの。
Ouch.
指の怪我できちんと治るまでは2週間ほどかかるそうなの。
そうだったんですか。
ええ。だからお願いできないかしら。
This must be hard for her. I can tell from her expression and voice. But just imagining myself playing the piano makes me think of that woman, and I feel unbearably nauseous.
消えて。
どうかしら。
もう終わったことなのに。
スオさん。
もともと気が進まない話なんだ。すぐに決めろって言われても無理じゃないかな。一晩よく考えてみてってのが落としどころだと思うけどね。それでどうよ。
My cat-like classmate has gone out of her way to help me.
明日返事します。
That's the answer I give for now. Feels bad. But sometimes we kind of have to face things head on, otherwise they will keep tormenting us. Oh well. I am the one who wanted to change, but this is too fast. I'm on my way back from ballet class when I think back on what Komikado asked me yesterday. Publicly accompanying her on the hymn to be performed at the Feast of the Assumption. It must be a huge role, an honor that anyone would envy. The choir club member who injured her hand must be full of regret. However,
あの人に近づいてしまう気がする。
just imagining myself touching the keys overwhelms me with the sensation that I am overlapping with my pianist stepmother. I am filled with revulsion so cold that I shiver. and so strong that my stomach clenches. I came to the academy because I wanted to change myself. I chose a boarding school so I could not bend my resolve. However,
まだ入学して2ヶ月じゃない。
On the other hand, it's been 2 full months. You know, some steps you can already start taking, I think. But yeah, I understand. I've been able to make friends like I always dreamed of in the span of just 2 months. It's a huge achievement for me. It will take just a little more time to banish the shadow of my stepmother.
おや、よく会うね、スオ君。
Someone's breath sneaks across my ear, making me leap back. The person grinning in front of me is, of course.
脅かしてしまったかな。
I like her so much. She's so fun. She always has some sort of entrance to make.
不意に耳に息を吹きかければ誰だって驚きます。前から思っていたんですけど、普通に呼びかけられないんですか？
いやいや、そりゃ普通に。いや、スオ君、相変わらず美人だね。そう呼びかけてもいいが、僕だよ。普通にしていたら誰だかわからないだろう。
後ろ姿でもその見事な金髪を見れば誰だかわかりますよ。
いや、困るな。僕はあまり褒められ慣れていないんだ。口説かれても困るよ。
She's not making a pass, but okay. It may seem like we're communicating, but we really aren't. My shoulders suddenly feel heavy from exhaustion.
スオ君が望むなら、今度登場するときは踊りながら現れようか。さあ、どうぞお嬢さん、一緒に踊ってくれませんか。
ダンスなんてできません。思い切り足を踏むことになりますよ。
At my response, she says that's fine, and bursts out into loud laughter. After clutching her stomach in mirth for a while, she locks her eyes with mine. Oh, excuse me.
何ですか？
ひょうきんなスオ君には悪いが、ここからは少々真面目な話になる。構わないかね。
Ooh, serious, okay.
前半が引っかかりますけど、どうぞ。
She seems to be struggling for the right words, as she folds her arms and shakes her ponytail, ruffling it up. Then,
昨日、ニカイアの会の集まりで、ネリーから話を聞いたんだが、あいつスオ君へ伴奏者となるように頼んだそうじゃないか。
I cast my gaze toward the floor when she brings up the very thing I am struggling with now.
はい。
そうか。まあ、なんだ。ネリーのやつが話した言葉に嘘はない。確かに予定していた伴奏者が怪我をしたのは事実だし、急なことだから穴を埋めるのは大変なのだろう。だが。
She puts both hands on my cheeks and makes me look up. Yatsushiro is smiling.
受ける受けないはスオ君の自由だ。君の好きな映画風に言うなら、やり方は3つしかない。正しいやり方、間違ったやり方、俺のやり方。あれこれ言われようと自分で決めるほかない。
I smile back at Yatsushiro, who has quoted the movie Casino.
そうですね。自分の意思を第一に考えてみます。
それでいい。まあなんだ。断りにくいなら僕の方から言ってもいい。
Ooh.
どうする？
I can say it myself, I'll ask you then. We should say it ourselves, right? Yeah, that's the one. I hesitate a bit, but...
自分で言えます。
I say as though also convincing myself.
そうか。そうだな。
八代先輩。
She ruffles my hair like she's petting a large dog.
頭を撫でられるなんて何年ぶりだろうか。
I think back to my dead mother and get absorbed in early childhood memories. I feel the petting stop, then...
今
Yes,
度の
pet
登場は
pets.
期待してくれ。
With that, she disappears in a whirlwind, just as she'd arrived.
「盗み聞きは良くないわ。
She agrees with me.
でも聞こえてしまったんだから仕方がない。
Maddie says with no remorse. Well,
聞かれて困る話ではないけどね。
聖母祭での伴奏者だろ。お生まれだ。なんで話してくれなかったの？
それは
She sees me hemming and hawing, then apologizes, saying it was a
ピアノ
joke.
を弾くことに何か嫌な思い出があったようだしね。そりゃ悩みもするか。
だからどう断ろうか悩んでいて。
そうか。断るつもりでいるんだね。
Alone in the classroom that's now empty during the break, the two of us stare off into space with nothing to say. I want to talk to her, but I don't know what to say. Perhaps Mayuri is in the same situation, and although we are technically facing each other, we are not in the real sense of the word confronting each other. The room suddenly grows lively as some of our classmates enter. I am somewhat relieved at this.
何を話しているの？
Her tone is pointed and different from usual, and I turn to look at her.
二人で密談かしら？
Okay.
いえ、
Under normal circumstances, we would think it was a joke, but after the fight yesterday, it does not sound like one. I feel tense, and I see Mairi go rigid as well.
あら、私には話せないお話なの？
そうじゃないさ。ちょっとした世間話ってやつだよ。
それを聞いているのだけど。
The look Mairi shoots me seems to ask if she can tell her. But that very action seems to throw kindling on Rika's anger, making the air between my Amitia partners grow even colder.
実はね、昨日小見門先輩からある頼み事をされて、それを受けようかどうかまゆりさんへ相談していたの。
小見門先輩から？私へは相談してくださらないの？
もちろんするわ。ただ立花さんは席を外していたから先にまゆりさんへ話しただけなのよ。
そう。それで相談というのは？
今度の聖母祭で合唱部は聖母祭の終わりに聖堂で聖歌を歌うでしょ。その時のピアノの伴奏をしてほしいとお願いされたの。
まあ素晴らしいわ。スオーさんが伴奏者に選ばれるだなんて。
Seeing Rika clap her hands and smile, the tension I was holding disappears, and I and Mairi both feel relief.
あ、そうね。喜んではいけないわ。でも、そうか。ピアノを弾いていたほまさんが怪我をしたから。
以前披露したピアノの伴奏は見事だった。だから白羽の矢が立ったのだろうね。
まゆりさんたらスオーさんに白羽の矢がなんて。
It's as though their fight never even happened, and Mairi radiates a bashful joy. Seeing the two of them getting along fills me with happiness too.
それで受けるかどうか悩んでいて。
どうして悩む必要があるの？だってあんなにお上手で聖母祭での伴奏者になれるなんてすごく栄誉なことよ。確かに緊張はするだろうけど練習すればきっと大丈夫よ。
She doesn't know how I detest the piano itself.
あの日の ことは純粋に気分が悪かったのだと思っている。
Unfortunately.
スオさんは奥ゆかしいからあまり目立つことをしたくはないのかもしれないけど、私は伴奏をしてほしいわ。スオさんの伴奏で歌ってみたいもの。
リッカは合唱部だものね。
ええ、もし緊張してしまうとかだったら私がつきっきりで練習をご一緒するわ。きっと大丈夫よ。
The two of them are talking just as they had before their falling out.
もし私が断ったら
Would I be responsible for breaking them up again? It's then that Mairi looks in the opposite direction and I follow her gaze. The Sasaki twins have snuck up behind Rika.
面白そうな話をしているね。合唱部の話ですね。
二人とも聞いていたの？
八代先輩から話は聞いていたので大体は伴奏者を頼まれた話だよね。
そう、とても名誉なことよ。何？また料理部で手が足りないからってやめろって言うつもり？
それは誤解だよ。もう材料も手配したし、前日に仕込みをすればいいからもう問題ないよ。
それに私もスオちゃんが弾くピアノ聴いてみたいし。
同意です。
Rika seems a little bewildered by their sidestepping.
二人は昨日のことを気にしていないようね。
それにスオちゃんが受ければ最後の成果はアミティエ2人での合奏だし、見逃す手はないよ。
合奏？それってどういう？
知らなかったの？聖堂で歌われる聖歌の最後は聖母祭で聖母役に選ばれた人が一人で歌うんだよ。
I cock my head at this sparse explanation.
聖母役は通例、その年の1年生の級長が選ばれることが多い。だから歌うのはりっちゃんさん。そして
She points.
伴奏はスオちゃん。
It will be quite a sight, Ichigo says with a mischievous grin, and Rika blushes. A scene that would have been completely normal until recently.
私はどうしたら？
I guess I have to do it. I won't cause conflict for my own sake. Ooh. We won't cause conflict. Yeah. Okay. I don't want this scene to end.
私、伴奏者の件受けようと思う。
本
正直子供の頃に少し触った程度だから自信がなかったけれど、
Alright.
リッカさんやイチゴさんたちも期待してくれるならやらなくちゃと思って。
当？スオさんが受けてくれて本当に嬉しい。
She squeezes my hand in excitement, ignoring the Sasaki's teasing.
スオちゃんに恥をかかせないようにりっちゃんさんも聖歌の練習をしなくちゃだね。
そうね、私も頑張るわ。
She squeezes my hand tighter and my heart leaps happily, but
耐えられるだろうか。
I can almost see my stepmother's shadow glaring scornfully at me from behind the excited Rika, and I avert my gaze. Your stepmother does not control you, I tell myself. The choir will sing their hymns, and I, the person who will play piano as the Virgin Mary sings this thing that I can't pronounce. Okay. I have been desperately trying to escape the shadow of my stepmother as she closes in on me. When my fingers press down on the keys, the sound it makes is absorbed by the cathedral and echoes back from unexpected places. When my ears pick up on this, I adjust my touch on the keyboard.
没頭していれば母は寄ってこない。
In this world of just me and the piano, there is nothing impure. With the feast drawing near, the situation calls for focus, and the music was passed on to me that very day. By the next day, I am able to play at the same level as the girl who was supposed to play. With things going this way,
そろそろ休憩にしましょうか。
feeling a hand on my shoulder, I look up in surprise.
コミカド先輩。
すごい集中ね。さすがは音楽家の娘さんね。
いえ。
I ignore her words, exhale, and put some distance between myself and the piano. I try my best not to look at it.
スオさんに頼んでよかったわ。まさか2日でほとんどの曲を覚えて弾きこなせるなんて。
最後のトータブルクラだけはまだ完全とは言えません。
それでもよ、本当によかった。
Seeing her clasp her hands together and smile innocently, I smile back. At first, people didn't really take it very well. Probably because Hokama, the person who was supposed to play, was well liked. I felt some resentment from the choir members, although they tried not to show it. However,
聖堂内での飲食は禁止されているの。少し遠いけれど、寄宿舎まで戻ってお茶しましょうか。
here with the president of the club, Komikado-senpai, and none other than the injured Hokama, who has been kind enough to instruct me with no hard feelings. I feel my situation has changed a lot. That and
休憩するなら一緒に戻りましょう。
the person inviting me has also accomplished a lot. Even though she hasn't been a member of the club for long, she has proved her worth and her thoughtful personality has quickly gained her the trust of her fellow members.
喉乾いたでしょ。ね。
She links her arm with mine. As her amitié partner, my social standing seems to have risen as well.
いえ、そんなに。それより今日は。
I want to leave this place as soon as possible.
そうなの？それなら私の練習の方を付き合ってもらおうかしら。
練習。ダメ？
Seeing my amitié partner looking up at me,
それじゃあ休憩の間だけよ。
I once again close the distance between myself and the piano where my stepmother waits. The day she said she wanted me to teach her piano was the first day of practice. I've always been the student and cannot imagine myself teaching someone, and so when she asked me, I didn't understand her request. After that, I don't remember well, but I think I turned her down at first. But she pushed harder than I expected. Little by little, I started teaching her after choir practice or during our breaks.
それじゃあ今日は弾いてみようかしら。
She nestles in close, leaning her upper body against mine, and nods. The song I am teaching her is that one. She'll probably be chosen as the Virgin Mary, so I don't want to waste my piano instruction on another song.
まだ楽譜でわからないところがあるの。だからそこを教えてくださらない？
Yeah, it's cute.
いいわ。
Reading from the beginning of the piece, from the score sheet, I place one hand on the keyboard. The other hand...
その教えるのに不自由だから手を離してもらえると嬉しいんだけど。
ダメよ。
She refuses point blank. She pulls my hand hard, drawing my arm near. My arm touches her stomach and chest, and I can't stop my cheeks from turning red.
どうしたのスオさん？お顔が真っ赤よ。
いや、別に。
I don't think that she's knowingly being mean. She's just happy. Perhaps because I mediated in that disagreement.
それじゃあ今教えたところを弾いてみるね。
I press the keyboard with my free hand. The tingling sensation I get before I start to play is the only thing I like about playing. A cool, crisp air surrounds me. I exhale as if to cast the heat from my body.
でもどうして
Why doesn't my stepmother's shadow appear, I wonder? Whenever I practice by myself, I feel her, recall her scent. But now that I am teaching Rika,
何？
いやちゃんと見ているかなと思って。
大丈夫。片時も目をそらしたりなんかしないわ。
I feel my arm grow even warmer in her grip. The reason my stepmother doesn't appear must be because I am teaching, I think as I touch the keys.
どうやって弾くのか直接感じたいの。
That's not how it works! But okay. She murmurs in my ear. When I try to turn to look at her face,
弾かないの？
だってこうして弾いたことはないから。
my embarrassment wins out. I cannot look at her. I simply cannot believe that her soft, slender fingers are touching my hand. If things continue like this, I might lose it. My body heat rises unbearably high, feeling as though it will spill from my
リ
mouth.
ッカさん手を。
邪魔してしまったかな。
A cold voice says, and my feverishness disperses.
まゆりさん、見学に来たのね。
ええ。きちんとやっているかどうか見に来たんだ。
In a panic, I try to pull my hand back, but she won't let me. See, there's a lot of tiny things like this under the surface that are a little bit pushy and uncomfortable in the way she behaves and the things she says. So it's a little bit hard to like her right now. A little bit hard.
今は休憩中なんだけどね。スオさんからピアノの練習の手ほどきを受けているの。こうして手を合わせてやった方が覚えがいい。
Who said that? What? This is not how it works. She can't even properly play if you're holding her arm like that and then holding her hand. Like, there's a certain posture. Okay. Okay. She strokes the palm of my hand with her fingertips as if showing off that we are holding hands.
そうか。指導なら仕方がないね。
ええ。
また伺うことにするよ。
I watch as she takes a step back, then turns on her heel. I can't say anything. I cannot even begin to imagine what I would say.
明日は聖母役の発表があるそうよ。
She calls out cheerfully to Mayuri as she is leaving. As she calls, I can feel her breath and smell her scent from beside me.
まゆりさん。
But her words only give me an inexplicable sense of loneliness, like a festival being held far, far away. The game is rigged. What's the point? She says. All students from all classes as well as all the teachers have gathered in the cathedral. I am saved by the buzzing around us as it seems no one around us has heard Yagaki's comment.
ちょっと聞こえてしまうかもしれないでしょ。
Yeah, that was a very sadness moment.
別に構わないだろう。ここにいる全員が分かっていることじゃないか。聖母役はその年の1年の級長が務める。何もいちいち発表会を気取らなくてもね。
聖母祭まで期日が迫ってきているから盛り上げるためもあるのよ、きっと。
I guess, she mumbles and turns her cold gaze toward the podium. I look at the profiles of my Amitia partners. Rika's cheeks are pink with nervous excitement, while Mayuri, like Yaigaki, is facing forward with a somewhat cold gaze.
聖母祭で2人と学院内を一緒に回って。
I pray that my Amitia partners go back to how they were before. I am afraid that ship has sinked. If I successfully play the prayer hymn, then I am sure things will go back to normal. I believe this.
ほう、あの美人の副会長のお出ましだ。さすがに絵になるね。
Komikado is at the podium reciting the significance of the Feast of the Assumption. Yaigaki appears to be listening intently as she smiles, her mean cat smile, but I don't hear a word of it. As the announcement draws near, my heart begins to race, beating so loudly that it's like an alarm that drowns out everything else. Komikado exits the stage, and replacing her comes a nun ascending to the podium with clacking footsteps. It's Sister Basket.
コミカドさんのおっしゃったように。
Sister Basket speaks with a tense face. She goes on to discuss the significance of the feast from a different angle, and once she finishes this preamble, she changes the topic with a well then.
今年度の聖母役に選ばれたのは
I feel guilty somehow. The air in the room feels thick as jelly, and I let out a small sigh. The announcement made in the crisp morning air. When Sister Basket said the name, silence reverberated for just a moment before the clamor broke out, along with the required applause from the teacher's side. Then, like a contagion, the applause spread to the students. Among our confused classmates, Yaigaki was the only one grinning, saying what a great twist this was. No.
それにしても驚きだよね。私的にも驚いたよ。だって噂じゃ聖母役は1年生の級長が通例で行っていたって言うじゃない？
I nod. Ichiko puts her hands on her head and looks to the girl who will play the Virgin Mary, who is surrounded by a wall of people. Care to guess?
まさかユリが選ばれるなんてね。
Of course. That's right. The name Sister Basket announced was Mayuri Kosaka. The moment Sister Basket called her name, Mayuri's eyes widened and she appeared to be at a loss for words. Then I looked to Rika beside me.
大丈夫、スオちゃん。
I am surprised everyone is still fine and that the whole school hasn't been exploded into smithereens. Aye. Ringo shakes me by the shoulder and I nod. Mayuri is surrounded by a wall of people, while in contrast, Rika is alone, perhaps because no one knows what to say to her.
私が声をかけなくちゃ。
I walk over toward Rika to say something. Sensing me, Rika raises her head and looks at me with a tense expression, and bravely says good morning. I try to respond, but I can't think what to say. I'd rushed over to talk to her, but there's no point in trying to encourage her. If I were in her shoes, that would be the last thing I'd want to hear. Sympathy, that's no good either. I'd want the ground to swallow me up. So...
ごめんなさい。一緒にトータプルクラを歌えると思ったのだけれど。
She forces the words out. The line is so like her and it tugs at my heartstrings.
そんなことないと言ってあげたら。
But I realize that in the end, that would probably just hurt her. That's why I cannot say anything. Then again, I get the feeling that saying nothing would be just as hurtful. The sound of an opening door followed by the sound of Sister Basket's voice announcing the start of class makes the words I was about to force out disappear into the ether. I fail every time I try to talk to her during breaks. At last it's time for choir practice, a place where I can finally talk to her. As I play the song I will perform at the Feast of the Assumption. Ah, why didn't I think of this? I pretend to be fully focused on playing the piano as Komikado smiles and comes over to me with her. Right. She is the Virgin Mary, so...
今日から一緒に練習する高坂まゆりさんよ。
She bows her head politely to me, as though we're complete strangers. Behind her, Rika cuts a lonely figure. My concentration broken, I'm overcome by a disgusting sensation, like a wet hand touching my back, and stand from my seat. The eyes of my stepmother peer out at me from between the keys, and the eyes of my two Amitia partners shake me to the core.
大丈夫。顔色が悪いわ。
The vice president of the Council of Nicaea murmurs something and rushes to my side. Then she comes over too, walking slowly.
ダメよ。座っていた方がいい。
None of it reaches my ears.
彼女よりも
However,
今はスオさんの方があの人のように見える。
I clearly hear her whisper. So here's where you are. I call to her as she gazes blankly out at the night sky, and she turns around slowly.
部屋で待っていたのだけど、戻ってこないから探しちゃった。
そう。
She turns her gaze back out the window. Just imagining what she's thinking about makes my chest hurt.
夕食の際もいなかったから、お料理下げられてしまったわ。
食欲がないの。
そう。でも何も食べないと体を壊すと思って夕食を包んでもらったの。部屋に取り置きしておいたパンでサンドイッチにしたのよ。
She glances at the paper bag I'm holding, but quickly looks away.
ますのもダメ。同情も。
It's not like I decided what I wanted to say before I came. I'd been waiting for her to come back to our room, but unable to sit still, I jumped up and come looking for her.
そのね。まゆりさんも部屋に戻っていなかったの。だから彼女もリッカさんを探していると思うわ。
彼女が
She finally pulls her gaze from the window and turns towards me, but...
こんな。
Rika's eyes are sunken into darkness as though they've absorbed the black of the night. I gasp involuntarily at the sight of these eyes, which are not the eyes of the serious yet kind and warm Rika I know.
まゆりさんを探していたの？
違うわ。リッカさんを。
まゆりさんのついででなく？
Noticing her voice shaking a little, I force a smile.
リッカさんを探していたのよ。
I answer. She stares hard at me as though searching for my true intentions.
私を先に。そう。
I nod and she smiles ever so slightly. The words I tell her are not a lie. It is true that I thought I should find Rika before I look for Mairi.
まゆりさんもリッカさんを傷つけたのを気にしているようだったけれど。
She seems to realize that I'm telling the truth, and although she still seems sad and worried, she goes back to being the class president I know. She then speaks in a restrained whisper.
スオさん、私おかしいのかな？私は級長としてみんなが仲良く過ごせるように規律を守らせ、自分も守り縛ってきた。
When I first met her, she was obstinate about keeping to the rules.
今は規律を守り守らせることだけが全てではないと思っているけれど、でも和を維持するために規律を守ることが大切だと信じているわ。
I watch in silence as she speaks.
私はね、スオさん、みんなが幸せでいるならそれが一番いい。自分自身のことは二の次でいいと本気で思っていたの。だから初めまゆりさんとあまり打ち解けていなかったことに本気で心配したし、二人の仲を取り持とうと思って行動したこともあるわ。でも
She looks down, trembling, her eyebrows kiting together in a pained expression.
でも今は違うの。まゆりさんとスオーさんが仲良くしているのを見かけただけで、声を聞いただけで苦しくなるの。
リッカさん、
嫉妬なんだと思う。でもなんで嫉妬しているのか、みんなが仲良くするのが一番だと思っていたのに、二人が仲良くするのをこんなにも辛いと思うなんて、私は比べてしまうの。私よりも、いえ私の方がっておかしいでしょ。でもね、どうしても比べてしまうの。ねえスオさん、私とまゆりさん。
Who do you like more? She asks, and I am shaken by the imploring sound in her voice.
アミティを比べるだなんて。
Ay. It feels close to taboo. She probably feels it too, but now that the thought has been planted, I admire Mayuri. I will never forget that night we met under the cherry trees. Ever since that night, I've admired her. I feel admiration for Rika too, but it is different from how I feel toward Mayuri. Mayuri is unattainable, whereas Rika is more like a projection of who I want to be. Which kind of admiration is closer to like? Should I even compare them? Many different thoughts pass through my head, but I cannot put them into words. Her eyes are not hers again, growing dark as the time she was staring out the window.
二人を比べることなんてできない。でも私はリッカさんのことが好き。これだけは知っていてほしいの。
スオさん、
これが答えじゃダメかな。
Her dark eyes trembled and go back to normal. A single tear rolls down her cheek and she shakes her head.
いい。その言葉だけでいいの。
You're hungry, aren't you? Let's go back to the room and eat, I say, and put a hand on her shoulder. Oh. That... Oh! Okay, we get a new perspective. And unfortunately I'm blocking the text. I guess I'll read it out. My sigh echoes in the dim room. It sounds to my ears like an entirely different person. My heart is shrouded in gloom. Because she hates me now, the girl who I saw that person in. Ever since we first met, I felt the presence of that person in her when we spoke and interacted.
でも、もう
She said, but now. Oh, that's so weird. It's right underneath my camera. I feel broken as I face her. I thought she would accept me, but
スオさん
I think she likes Suo. Come to think of it, she has really opened up towards Suo. So much so that it makes me jealous. When she admitted to me in the bath that she wanted to get closer with her, my heart got so riled up I wanted to tear it out. A fierce jealousy. Oh, I see. She easily got that which I myself was unable to. Certainly she is a good person. She's sensitive to others' pain, she's kind, and she's fragile. I think with distaste. And yet...
なんで私はこんなに
So why do I see Suo playing at the piano and I see that person in her. The one I like. Aww. Cute Mairi. The image of Suo stands out sharply in my mind as I gaze out the window at the moon. With a surprisingly clear head, I look up at the moon and think of her.
あの人のことが好きだった私の気持ちそれに嘘はない
I came to the academy... Oh, sorry, I should read that out because I'm blocking it. Haha. My feelings for that person weren't a lie. I came to the academy to forget that person. I'd felt that living in a dorm would change things somehow.
愚
But
かにも私はあの人の影を追ってしまった
this you can see. I saw that person in my Mitie partner, in Rika Hanabishi, which is why I really made an effort to get her to like me. However, the one she likes is Suo Shirahane.
もう一人のアミティエ
I'd been jealous and upset at her, but now I feel...
私って気が多い女なのかしら
I murmur, sneering at my own self-deprecating words. It's just like a cheesy romance movie. A love triangle, but between girls.
告白すらしていないっていうのに
So I haven't confessed my love yet, though. No, you have not. Between the three of us, nobody has made anything resembling a confession. The true feeling I feel is not friendship, nor is it sisterly love. It's the desire that comes with romantic love. I'd felt strong feelings, including shame, when my lust was pointed out at the body measurement. The lust I've been trying to keep hidden is now...
まゆりさん
Ooh, okay. A voice calls to me, as if from a dream. Mairi-san. The voice whispers my name. I turn vacantly in the direction of the voice as it reverberates sweetly in my ear. Before my eyes stands Suo Shirahane. My Amitia partner is staring at me, looking as though she is about to cry.
そうさん
I whisper her name as though I'm seeing a ghost that looks just like her in the dim library. She's staring at me as though she's seen a ghost. Then she stands from her chair and smiles bashfully for some reason.
どうしたんだいこんな夜更けにスオさん一人なの
部屋に戻っていないから探したのよ。心配したんだから。
そう心配してくれたんだ
I tell her that of course I was, and she gives me a faint, embarrassed smile.
部屋にいても二人とも戻ってこないから心配して。
リッカが彼女も
ええ。でもリッカさんはもう見つけたわ。今は部屋で休んでいる。話したら落ち着いたみたいだし。
そうか彼女には悪いことをしたね
There's nothing I can say about that. Mary did nothing wrong. If anything was wrong, it was just the timing.
食事も取らないでずっとここにいたの？
ああ、少し考えたいことがあってね。
悩みは解決した？
いや、ますます応能は深くなるばかりだ。
She smiles, but I know it is self-deprecating. She furrows her eyebrows at my silence.
スオさん、応能っていうのはね。
深く苦しい悩みよね。大丈夫。茶化したりはしない。ねえ、まゆりさん。
何？
以前、あなたは私へ話したくないことは無理に話さなくていいって言ってくれたわよね。私はあの言葉に救われたわ。何も正直でいることが美徳ではないと知って。でもね、まゆりさん。そう言ってくれたあなたに言いにくくはあるけれど、私は尋ねたいの。あなたの悩みを。私も一緒にまゆりさんの悩みを抱えたいの。
At my words, she nods just a little. In the dim room, a shadow falls across her face at a slight angle. I cannot tell her expression. Is she sad? Is she angry? I put a hand to my hammering heart and look at her.
そうだね。スオさんには話しても。
When she looks up at me, she appears to be smiling through her tears. I regret having made her feel like this, but at the same time I feel delight at being able to share our secrets with one another.
私はね、どうしようもなく愚かな女なんだ。
Her confession starts with this line.
子供の頃、10歳の時に両親が離婚し、私は父方に引き取られた。男手一つで娘を育てるのは難しい。だから母代わりに家政婦を雇った。私はその人に育てられたと言っていい。難しく手のかかる面倒な娘だったが、その人は本当に実の娘のように面倒を見てくれたんだよ。
いい人だったんだね。
はあ、いい人だった。だが私としては実の母親の方がやはり大切でね。離婚した母の様子を一度だけ見に、はがきで住所は分かっていたから、子供の大冒険というやつだ。そして今でも夢に見る光景を見てしまう。
She stares down at the floor again. I wait silently for her to continue.
母の家で覗き見たのは知らない男との兆候だった。
Ouch.
どうやらその男は浮気相手のようでね。父はそのことを知り別れたんだ。幼い私には話してはくれなかった真実だ。母の口から私へと向けた心ない言葉、裏切りを聞き、何もできぬまま家へと戻った。母の言葉が幼い私にはショックだったのか、その日を境に食べ物が喉を通らなくなった。お手伝いさんは面倒のかかる私をかいがいしく世話し、どうにか食べさせようとさまざまな料理を試した。衰弱していったが、ある種のお菓子だけは食べることができ、なんとかそれをもとに脱することができた。
Maybe that's why I like baking so much, she says with a wry smile.
実の母のように尽くしてくれる彼女。私はね、スオさん。
Yeah. Cookies are life-saving. I can get behind that. Yeah. I approve.
向けてくれる愛情を好意でなく好意としていつしか受け取るようになっていたんだ。私は 彼女に恋心を抱いたんだよ。
好きに。
ええ。私は奉納し苦しんだけれど、彼女へ告白することにした。話さないではいられなかったんだ。告白は破れた。もちろん分かっていたことだけどね。彼女が私へ向けていたのは情愛ではなく愛情だったのだから。
She draws a long breath, her expression an indescribable display of embarrassment, anguish, and vulnerability.
私はね、この学院に来る前に失恋したんだ。相手は女性だ。笑えるだろう、スオさん。
Seeing the pain in her eyes, I tell her plainly, it is not ridiculous at all.
嘘だ。気持ち悪いと思っているはずさ。
そんな風に思うはずがない。あなたは私の憧れだもの。
憧れ。こんな私が。
こんななんて言わないで。私が憧れている人を卑下するのはやめて。
私は。
She bites her lip, as if it will help her to bear the pain. I walk toward her, and without a word, I embrace her.
大丈夫。
スオさん。
何もおかしなことなんてないわ。人が人を好きになって何が恥ずかしいの？
Silence flows over us for a time. I feel her teardrops on my shoulder as I hold her in my arms.
部屋に戻りましょう。風邪をひいてしまうわ。
I'm filled with affection for her as she nods wordlessly. But
愛おしいと思う感情は
is this something more? I think of her, whose warmth I'm feeling right now, and also of Erika. I gently stroke her hair. Oh, okay. Rika perspective. Bad scenes. I take a deep breath, finally feeling like myself again. At first, I had simply gone out to look for my two Amitia partners who had not yet returned to the room. Oh no. And she saw it. Ay ay ay. Suo's comforting had calmed the jealousy raging within me. Which is
マ
why
ユリさんと向き合おうとしていたのに。
I was going to face up to Mayuri, but when I went to the library, I overheard Mayuri Kosaka's confession and felt something akin to joy well up in me. Oh no, indeed, Moth-chan. I did feel pity and a little sympathy as well, and even the desire to rush over and help comfort her. But
スオさんを独り占めできるかもしれない。
it's those thoughts, girl, that will be your downfall. A hateful little bubble forms within me. The malicious bubbles multiply, latching themselves onto Mayuri's secret. Many different thoughts race through my head. What if I spread the rumor? She'd surely be dropped from the role of the Virgin Mary. Then, just like any normal year, I would become...
ダメよ。そんな。
No, I can't think like that. I murmur, but the bubbles continue to foam and spread. Better yet, I'll keep it a secret and go to
優
So.
しいスオさんならきっと。
A hateful, dirty plan. But right now, it seems like the best solution available to me. Hearing a strange sound, the bubbles burst and I hurry down the hallway. But I get a feeling that the seeds of those bubbles remain within me, just waiting to sprout. Ay, ay, ay. I'm sorry, I know you're tired, she says. Mighty, who knows it was my turn to do the field work today, says while smiling slightly. I finish work in the greenhouse after choir practice, eat dinner, then I'm off for my secret training with Mighty. No, it's not a secret anymore.
一休みしてからだもの。大したことないわ。
Rika likes Suo, who likes Mighty, who likes Rika disaster awaits. I don't know, maybe I got it a little bit wrong, but it felt like initially she was feeling certain things towards Rika because of some resemblance with the other person that she liked. But maybe I read it wrong, but over time her feelings shifted onto Suo, actually. Maybe I read it wrong. That's why she said she said that she's a fickle woman. Or something along those lines. I cock my head at this strange response.
正直、私の方は音を上げそうだったんだ。でも付き合ってくれているスオさんがそう言うんじゃ、私が泣き言を言うわけにはいかないなってさ。
A true love triangle. I guess. That's why it's unfortunate, she says, and I nod and smile wryly.
本当なら、立花にも手伝ってもらえればいいんだけど。
寮に戻ってからもクラスの出し物の作業をしているのだもの。無理よ。
After our talk yesterday, I'd judged that there are no more hard feelings, and I'd talked to Rika about my ballet lessons with Mairi. It appeared to be fine the first time Rika had heard about it. She said it sounded tough and apologized to Mairi for not being able to help. So I can tell she's just joking around.
本当は私も立花の仕事を手伝わなくちゃなのにね。
お茶を出したりしているじゃない。きっとリッカさんも分かっているわ。
そうかな。こんなことなら聖書の授業をもっとちゃんと受けとけばよかったよ。資料を揃えるのですら無理だものな。
それは私がやっているから。
うん。でも直接手伝えないのは歯がゆいな。
I'm relieved to see this thoughtfulness from her after how strained their relationship has been. This is how Amitia partners are supposed to be. Mairi, who is bending and stretching to avoid cooling down even while resting, voices a thought that has seemingly just come to mind.
農作業を終えて部屋に戻ってきた時、なんだか青い顔をしていただろう。聞きそびれてしまったんだけど、あれって疲れからじゃないの？
Reminded of what I saw at the greenhouse, I clam up.
それは
やっぱり疲労からか。無理に付き合ってくれなくてもいいんだよ。
Saw at the
疲れ
greenhouse?
ている
I'm
時は
confused.
休んでくれてもいいんだから。
She's genuinely worried about me. I can tell from the way she stares into my eyes, checking to see if I still look pale.
どうしよう。
I should probably tell her that her concern is misguided, but
今からでも戻って休んだ方がいい。私はもう少し練習していくから。
her words give me resolve and I decide to confess.
あのね。
どうしたの？私ついていった方がいい？
違うの。青い顔をしていたのは苦手なものを見てしまって。
苦手なもの？もしかして。
Like how Rika is with ghosts, she asks, and then blinks in exaggerated surprise when I grimace and nod reluctantly.
なんでそんなに驚いているの？
いや、スオさんって私から見たらすごく大人で理性的に見えていたからさ、なんというか苦手なものなんてないって思ってたんだよ。
That's not the case at all.
得意なものより苦手なことの方が多いくらいだわ。
立花のお化け嫌いはらしい感じだけど、でも農作業中でしょ。そんなに怖いって思うものあったかな。
あるわ。想像するだけでおぞましいものが。
I get goosebumps just thinking about it. That bad, huh? Mairi murmurs, having noticed my reaction.
農作業中で女の子が苦手なものと言ったらもしかして虫とか？
その名前を呼ばないで。
An icy shiver slithers down my spine as I recall the catastrophe that had derailed my fieldwork.
お、ドンピシャだったのか。
Mairi apologizes to me as I wrap my arms around myself.
でもスオさん、前に家でおじいさんの家庭菜園を手伝っていたと話していたでしょ。そんなに苦手なら手伝えなくない？
普段は警戒しているから大丈夫なの。再三再四注意を払っているし。でもね、時期じゃないから油断したのよ。
時期じゃないって。
What could have been so bad? Yes, it is almost the rainy season, which is why I didn't expect it.
休憩していたら私の手に
も
真っ白蝶が。
Cabbage white? The words feel disgusting in my mouth, remembering its hideous whiteness, its strange monstrous mouth, and caterpillar-like body. I almost let out a scream.
青虫とかじゃなくて蝶？
そうよ。C は基本的に全部ダメだけど、蝶だけは本当に苦手なの。気持ち悪くて。
I don't think I've ever heard anyone being bothered by butterflies. Okay. Despite my heartfelt confession, she's looking at me dubiously.
苦手なものってそうじゃないと理解されにくいのよね。
And at choir practice today, too. I can't help it, a protesting voice rings out through the cathedral.
苦手なものは苦手なのよ。
あれはお化けじゃないだろ。
During the break, we were talking about things we're scared of. It started with the fact that Rika always looks down at the ground as she ducks through the doors to the cathedral.
私、聖堂に入るときにお辞儀をしているのかと思っていたわ。職員室へ入る際に失礼しますって言うみたい。
I've never heard of such a thing, she says with her eyes wide. She then pulls a wry grimace.
おかしいと思ったから聞いてみたけど、そうか。門を守るガーゴイルの銅像が怖かったなんてね。
守護像だってことは分かっているのよ。沖縄でいうところのシーサーみたいなものでしょ。でもね、シーサーと違うところは。
She momentarily glances at the closed door of the cathedral, then quickly averts her gaze.
顔が怖いし、悪魔みたいじゃない。
She fervently tries to convince us, but it just comes off as comical to someone who isn't afraid of them. Seeing Rika shuddering, Mary bursts out laughing. Ay. Just as she did to Rika, she laughs at me, clutching her stomach.
もう誰だって苦手なものはあるでしょ。
それはそうだけどまさか蝶が怖いなんて意外も意外だろ。虫だって例えばテントウムシなんかは可愛いじゃない。
小さくて足がたくさんあるだけでもう無理なのよ。
Just explaining it gives me goosebumps and I rub my arms. Mary smiles and points to my shoulder.
それじゃあ今肩についてる小さなガみたいなのでもダメなの？
I let out a voiceless scream and throw myself at my I lose my balance and succumb to gravity. My back hits the floor, and though I'm in pain, I'm glad Mary didn't end up beneath me. If she were to be injured because of me.
スオさん
She'd been laughing up until now, but her sudden change to a low, calm voice startles me. Ah, which part are you touching? Which is it? Okay. It's all of it. All of it. Oh, this is really pretty though. Oh. Her face draws closer. In a panic, I try to bend backwards, but my head is trapped against the floor as she stares at me, red-faced.
ごめん
いいのよ。事故だし。
そうか
Mairi's face right in front of mine. Her reddened face slowly crumples, distorting with sorrow.
そうだね事故
She whispers so closely I can feel her breath.
スオさん私は
She murmurs and I gaze back at her.
私はあなたに甘えているのかもしれない
甘え。
As I'm thinking on the meaning of that
大
word,
変
I quickly turn toward the voice that belongs to neither of us.
リカ
どうしたの？そんなに怖い顔をして。
これは
練習で倒れてしまったんでしょ？さあ、手を貸すわ。
Rika looks as nonchalant as always as she lends Mairi and then me a hand up.
遅くなったから呼びに来たのよ。そろそろお風呂に行かないと閉められてしまうわ。早く行きましょう。
そう呼びに来てくれたんだ
Nothing more terrifying than Rika acting normal. Yeah, I was about to say that this feels oddly weird. That she's the one who is not assigning meaning and interpretations to the scene that was just in front of her. A little bit, okay. Unexpected. Unexpected is the word.
汗だくの2人の匂いに包まれた部屋はごめんだものね。部屋の電気を消してきて。
I let out a small sigh of relief that she's acting the same as usual and goes to hand Mairi her uniform.
スオさん、話があるの。
Okay. She whispers into my ear. Okay, I'm scared.
待たせたかしら。
She calls out to me in her usual restrained voice. I'd been waiting for Rika in the dim room surrounded by the scent of books. I feel like I'm in a different world as her words drift over to me as though through a cloud. Because we were meeting in the library in the dead of night. I giggle.
何かおかしいことでも？
いえ、なんでもないわ。
Before I came to the academy, I had actually been concerned about being able to make friends. The old me.
深夜に呼び出されるようになるなんて。
I never imagined I could have such a deep relationship. That's why I giggled. Perhaps I seem strange laughing for no reason. She scrutinizes my face questioningly.
ごめんなさい。こんな夜更けに図書室にいるだなんて。私自身に起きたお話じゃないような気がして。
夜更けに呼び出したのは悪いと思っているわ。
構わない。おかしな気分になっているだけなのだから。
If that's the case, then I'm feeling strange too, she says. Then she steps forward facing me.
こんな話変だと思うでしょうね。
話して。
昨日まゆりさんと仲良くしていると嫉妬してしまうと話したでしょ。どうしても 比べてしまうって。私はこの気持ちはただの嫉妬だと思ったの。自分のお気に入りの人形を他の人が手に取って遊んでいるのを見つけてしまったような感情。
私も仲のいい友人が私よりも仲良くしている人がいるのを知れば面白くないわ。それはきっと誰にでもあるものよ。
Serious Rika probably cannot stand her own pettiness. I go on trying to lighten her burden.
それに嫉妬はいけないことなんかじゃないわ。だって嫉妬するくらいその人のことが大好きだってことでしょ。相手のことに真剣になれるから苦しいの。だから。
ええ、苦しいわ。スオさんのことを思うと苦しいの。
リッカさん。
二人が仲良くしているのを見ていると、レッスン室でのことだって。
She had pretended it didn't faze her, but apparently it did. Of course it did.
マユリさん。
When I fell to the ground with her on top of me.
あれは事故よ。
私にはそう見えなかったわ。いえ、事故なんて言葉じゃ済ませたくない。
There it is. I see how serious she is, and I'm at a loss for what to do. If we are to remain amitié partners, if change is not always a good thing.
あのレッスン室の事故のせいで、まゆりさんと差がつけられたと思うなら。
My lips tremble with nerves.
同じことをしてみる。
Of all things, I wouldn't have thought of this. Okay. Her answer is silence. Even though I immediately regret those stupid words, I can't take them back. I'm struggling to find the words to say next when...
バカにしないで。私は勇気を振り絞ってスオさんに告白しに来ているのに。
なんて。
I stand there dumbfounded for a long moment, staring at Rika, whose scarlet blush is visible even through the darkness. She looks as though she is about to burst into tears at any moment. Her body is trembling and her hands are balled into fists. This is a confession, meaning...
冗談よね。
I finally string together the words. Slow on the uptake as usual, I choose the worst possible response.
夜中にアミティへの子を呼び出して悪ふざけするほど私は不良じゃないわ。
She glares at me and there's desperation in her eyes. I think harder than I have ever thought in my life. I search for some way, however makeshift, to preserve my relationship with her, with them. I consider the changes surrounding me when I felt accepted, and the connection with my amitié partners when they were not accepted. I feel sickened at how horrible a woman I am for having these self-interested thoughts. What should I do?
リッカさん。私は誰ともお付き合いするつもりはないわ。
まゆりとも。
I hesitate a bit at her name, but I answer in the affirmative. A cold silence passes between us until she lets out a small sigh, as though moving on from something.
スオさんのお気持ちはわかりました。
ごめんなさい、リッカさん。
いえ、謝るのは私の方だわ。
Her smile is infinitely kind, which is what makes it so terrifying.
だって、これから耳を塞ぎたくなる話をしなくてはならないのだから。
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I gaze into Rika's eyes. The smile doesn't leave her face as she begins to tell me what she witnessed last night.
呼び出した場所で察してもらえるかと思ったんですけどね。
Oh no. In the library late at night. The answer this leads me to.
まゆりさんとの話を。
ええ、偶然に。面白い話をしていましたよね。いえ、痛ましい話ですか。まさかまゆりさんが。
Stop! I cut her off sharply from voicing the discriminatory word she is about to use. You yourself just confessed to a girl. Like, I don't understand what's happening. What?
私もひどい言葉を吐きたくありません。何をすればいいのかわかりますよね、スオさん。
Oh my god. I turned to look out the window just as she had, as if to turn my eyes away from reality. The moon, broken up by the square panes of glass, shines blue and cold. She repeats her question, words colder than the moon. And I have no choice but to say yes.
夏目漱石全集に甲府という作品がある。19歳の青年が三角関係のもつれから嫌になって家を飛び出し、行くあてもなく歩いているとポン引きに出会い、炭鉱へ連れて行かれるという話だ。炭鉱の町でさまざまな人と出会い、販売の仕事をし、5ヶ月間もの時を過ごす。この話は家に戻った際にストンと終わってしまう。鉱山町や行動の様子も細かに書かれ、お話としても面白いが、私は19歳の青年が全く成長しないことに恐怖と安堵を覚えた。住む町を変え、仕事を変え、人と会い、労苦を覚える。しかし青年の精神性は始まりと同じで変わることはない。変わることのできない自分。私は彼女との出会いで変わることができるのだろうか。
Oh my gosh. Belly. It's the first tea party in a while. Probably gonna be very awkward. Everyone is excited, with everyone's time and energy being devoted to the upcoming Feast of the Assumption. A moment to chat and eat some tasty treats is just what we need. The colorful desserts and plates of food before our eyes are enhanced by the scent of tea. The classmates who've gathered during this busy time look up to the host, who has stood to make an opening speech. She strikes a teacup to get attention. Before we start the tea party, she says, slowly turning her head and looking around at the seated audience as she speaks. It's standard for her to make a few announcements at the start of the tea party, and everyone listens in silence.
では、最後に私事ではありますが。
Our classmates look on questioningly at this conclusion, which is so different than usual, but Rika's smiling expression remains unchanged.
この度、私とスオさんはお付き合いすることになりました。
Through blackmail? Yeah, she announces. After a moment of silence come the cheers and hoots. I feel my classmates' stares piercing me with a relentless curiosity. My friends, the Sasaki twins, the astonished face of Erika Yaegaki, and the troubled gaze of my other Amitia partner filled with a quiet anger. The announcement of our relationship is seen as less strange than I would have thought. Rika reacts to Ichigo's jeering by saying some words that would make a person blush. Ringo says some sharp words to avenge her fallen sister, but this too is parried.
女学院では普通のことなのか。
Mairi is struggling with her homosexuality. I'd only agreed to go out with Rika because she threatened to expose my... I don't get it. I can't. It doesn't compute for me. But okay. But if this is the reaction, even if she were found out, or so I think for a few moments, but when I look at the atmosphere of the tea party and my classmates' attitude, I get a feeling that this is different. The announcement of our relationship is not in reality about the sexual, physical one. It's just that we have strengthened our relationship, that we are now close friends. The two don't sound the same. But okay. No, it's more about a deeper spiritual relationship. Yeah. I understand what the conflict is. That Mairi doesn't want that to be known. And much less be known by someone else going around and spreading the information. I totally get this. What I don't get is why Rika would do that to her. Why? Just why? It's just I try to even, but I can't. I'm just odding right now. You know, like I just
一番の親友を宣言するようなものだろうか。
Is it though? I feel that the weight of Rika's announcement of our relationship is different altogether from what is troubling Mairi. The people around us have accepted it more readily than I'd expected. It is almost a letdown. Most of all...
それでもうキスは済ましたのかい？
Of course. The joke is too direct for me to be able to laugh at it. Sipping tea and making her mean cat eyes, she asks me from where she's been watching the tea party from, a little whiles away. I guess she's come over to tease me.
それとももうあっちの方もすでに済ましてるとか？性格からするとお前の方が男役か？
Oh my god. Oh my god.
昨日の今日でそんなことをしているわけないでしょ？
Yeah, if you are sensing a mood shift in me as well, it's because of that. Ah.
へえ、告白をされたのは昨日なのか。保留しないで即決で返事するなんて男前だな。
Realizing that these jokes are her way of extracting information from me, I hang my head with a sigh.
冗談はともかく意外だったな。私としては付き合うにしても委員長よりもう片方の網手を選ぶものだと思っていたよ。
Mairi. There's no sign of her at the tea party. She's already left, and that tells me how she really feels about this.
で、本当のところはどうなんだよ。委員長の言う通り、付き合ってるのか？
Don't reply, confirm. And we have to confirm. Oh my god. Ah, I see her talking pleasantly with the Sasakis.
そうよ。
I answer.
へえ、それじゃ本当に両思いってことか。ま、女学院のこの風土だ。耳に入る噂話なら女同士ってのもそれほどキーな話じゃないそうだしな。
Oh really? I ask, and she nods.
閉鎖的な状況だからか女学院特有のものだか知らないが割合多いらしい。
Christianity moment, yeah.
宗教的にも学院的にも男と乳くり合うよりはいいんじゃないか？
Yeah. I didn't think of it that way. Oh god.
そういえば1年前はあの美人な副会長と会長も一時期噂になったらしい。それくらいは浸透しているんだろうな。
コミカド先輩と八代先輩が
The two would make a stunning pair visually, but
性格的に無理なような。
having talked to the two of them together, their relationship seems like pure friendship to me. Friendship.
リッカさんと私は
As I think about the nature of our relationship, I hear the cheers again. Both Yaigaki and I look to the source.
どうやら王子様のおいでのようだ。
I hope they'll be going out with the intention to have babies, or that's not gonna be very questionable. Clinton. Hi. Ay. My cat-eyed friend says teasingly as we watch Rika walk this way. Yeah, indeed. Good luck with that. Rika walks gracefully over, faces me, and takes me by the hand. More hoots and hollers.
あの
私たちお付き合いしているでしょ。でも互いの雰囲気から以前とあまり変わらないという方がいて、そんなことないって証明しなくちゃならなくなったの。
Prove, she says.
まさかこの場でキスをするとか。
やだ、そんな不死だらな真似はしないわ。そういうことはきちんと手順を踏んでからするものよ。
Yeah, by blackmailing you into a corner. Yes, that's how it should proceed. I'm secretly relieved to hear this. I decided to do this for the sake of my Amitia partner, but I'm still not ready for that.
そのね、スオさん、今までの関係を変えるためにもっと親密になるためにしようと思っていたことがあって。
She's blushing and bashful. Her cuteness invites a desire to protect her. A desire to slap her, maybe. Completely unlike the girl I saw yesterday.
私考えたのだけど、お互いに呼び方を変えるというのはどうかなと思って。
Drop the sun, give each other nicknames. I have to do the first one. Sure. It's like the most sexual thing that Japanese people know of. It needs censorship. Stat. You look at her the way you looked at Beatrice. Yeah, I probably do. I probably do. I'm so sorry. I'm very upset right now. Well, this is...
とんでもないことを言われると思っていた。
I blink in surprise at the unexpectedly tame request.
ダメ？いえ、ダメなんかじゃないわ。そうね。呼び方を変えるというのは、つまり、さん付けをやめるとか？
そう、どうかしら。
I guess usually people drop the sun once they start calling each other by their first names. I would usually feel some hesitation, but...
リッカ。
I thought she'd wanted something more, so I say the name rather nonchalantly. But as soon as her name leaves my lips...
これは、猛烈に恥ずかしい。
Yes, the most embarrassing thing in the world, the saying of the name. A chorus of cheers goes up. The Sasakis are hooting. I feel Yaigaki's gaze at my back. My entire face and neck turn red.
スオちゃん、かわいい。初々しいね。
Rika is trembling and I ask her if she's alright. She nods, her eyes on the ground.
私からも呼ぶね。スオ。
Who would have thought how wonderfully intimate it would be to call one another by our names like this? For a moment I forget the course of events that has led us to this point, and I feel a warmth in my chest. A lump rises in my throat. I respond naturally. Ah, my goodness.
さあ
Here you are, she says as she gives me a handmade cookie. It's wonderful to receive something like this from a friend. However,
自分でいただくわ。
恥ずかしがらないで
like a bird feeding her brood, her eyes tell me to open my mouth.
みんなが見ている中で。
Since the announcement of our relationship, she hasn't hidden her feelings for me. In my opinion, she's asking for too much physical interaction, and I have no choice but to respond. The reaction of everyone around us...
八重垣さんの言った通りだわ。
No one looks at us with curiosity despite this obviously romantic interaction. Rather, people seem to be looking on with envy as I distractedly take a bite of the cookie.
何？
She's taken hold of my hand in one of hers. Her palm is warm, soft, and feminine.
美味しくなかった。
そんなことないわ。いただくわ。
そうよかったあーんしてね
I do as she asks and open my mouth and wait for the somewhat bitter cookie. In this way, our intimate relationship continues.
時間は大丈夫なの？
少しくらい息抜きをしないと煮詰まってしまうわ。スオーには付き合ってもらって悪いと思っているけど。
平気よ。お昼まで練習しているわけじゃないし。
そうならよかったわ
It gives me a start when she calls me so. Other than the fact that her touching has become a bit excessive, she is just Rika. I forget the fact that I am in a relationship with her. But her calling me so clearly expresses the new dynamic in our relationship.
あんまり森を散策するのとか興味がなかったけど、二人でこうしていると楽しいわね。
I smile with her as she bounces along.
友人とお散歩をするのは私の夢の一つだったし。
Of course I'm happy about it. However, while we are friends, Rika, who is not looking at the forest but at me, furrows her brows and looks at me with a stern face.
何かついているかしら？
いえ、もしかして寝不足なの？
I cock my head, not understanding the question. Rika stops and puts a finger to my lips.
唇が荒れているわ。ダメよ、女の子なんだから。
Okay, so I guess you're gonna hydrate them? Okay, lip balm, okay, fine. She says and takes out a lip balm from her pocket.
これって。
A scene from a novel I read before. An indirect kiss. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot about that. Okay, yeah, right, it is lewd. It is lewd. I see. I get nervous as she removes the cap and breathes on the lip balm.
何をしているの？
リップクリームを温めて塗りやすくしているの。少し待っていてね。
The thing is, it already does that when it touches your lips because your lips are warm. Okay. She puts the warmed up lip balm on her index finger and puts it to my lips. Then, I hope you washed your hands.
動かないの。おとなしくしていなさい。
Like painting on a canvas, she neatly spreads the lip balm across my lips. Her finger stroking my lips awakens feelings of bashfulness and a kind of pleasure.
これでいいわ。
ありがとう、リッカさん。
もう、リッカでいいのよ。
Thank you, Rika, I say, reflecting on the sensation of her finger on my lips. I've said it before, but while the touching is excessive, our relationship is even better than it was before. I'm happy about this. Are you though? Really? even though it's based on blackmail, like, does no one like feel the kind of unsteady foundation that creates for something like this? Okay. However, if we use medicine as an analogy to our relationship, strong medicines contain poison. If you take too much, you will be poisoned. Okay. Okay. Sure. I guess it applies. If it's alright, I would like to make a save and leave it here. That's enough for one night. Yeah. Before it jumps into like a too big of a scene or maybe like a different development, I think it's okay to leave it here. Yeah. Okay. Well, that was quite something. I guess we are moving in the direction of here I am. Of the, I guess, the climax of the story, more or less, right? Because we're getting close to the end of this route, right? Or at least taking steady steps towards it. What do you mean, seriously? 2 or 3 more streams. Yeah, okay, Clinton, there are 4 parts. This is only the first part. But yeah, it does feel given that they're supposed to be, at least how I understand it. Wait, I can take these off. Oh, okay, this is much better. Given how I understand it, it's the stories are different, right? So it does feel like we're experiencing one, kind of putting an end to it and then moving to another one. It's like comparing a wash basket to Titanic still. I mean, yeah, I guess so. I think anything in the future will pale in comparison. Like, even if something longer will be like, poof, I've done it, Mineko, this is nothing. You know? The stream was very interesting. Yeah, a lot of twists and turns there. Looking forward to seeing how this materializes further. I'm a little bit I'm confused. Yeah, confused is the right word. That Suo just accepts this relationship, just like, oh, okay, I guess this is what I'm doing right now, and doesn't see anything wrong with the blackmail part. I'm personally very put off by it, but maybe I just need a little bit of time. Yeah. Yeah. It's just started. I can't shake the feeling that she's basically being taken advantage of. So, and I don't like it. Much more. Ooh, okay. So this is barely scratching the surface and I'm already incredibly bothered by it. I'm sorry if I look at Rika like I'm looking at, or like as I used to look at Eva Tricia, but she does feel on the same level right now. Yeah. The question mark is apt, Clinton. I don't know if we should be hyped by that. Rika is the most disliked character along with one other you might understand at the moment. I see. Well, I'm trying my hardest to reserve just a little sliver of benefit of the doubt. And also, like, they're basically kids, you know, teenagers. They don't... It is the time when they make mistakes and then learn from them. So if there is some redemption arc after this, or some signs of her actually learning something from this and growing as a person, I will extend that sliver of benefit of the doubt. But until then, I'm very uncomfortable. Yeah. Okay. All right. Rika had to become bad to make the story good. Yeah, I guess we needed a conflict there and a bit of an antagonist. Yeah. Jessie said in female boarding schools they don't get chaperones to watch over them, so it makes sense. This is kind of like that. Yeah, I guess so. But I was not like contending with that. It's just the basis on which their relationship form was Rika blackmailing Suo. So that's the thing that I'm bothered by. Just to make it clear to everyone. Yeah. Yeah, fingers crossed. You know, Umineko has taught us to look with love and to reserve a little bit of space for things to not be as they appear to be. But so far they're not looking very good. Yeah, okay, let's not get into that. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I guess we'll see more of stupid. I wouldn't have thought of her that way. Oblivious. I don't know. You're the adult here. Like, can't be excused by obliviousness, I'd say. But, oh well. We'll see. Again, we'll likely see more of her, so we can reserve just a tiny little smidge of space for things to not be as they appeared. Although they appear to be, yeah, quite uncomfortable sometimes. Yeah, well, anyway. Despite the twists and turns, this has been fun. Yeah, I'm glad that we're getting a bit more into the deeper parts of the plot. And I'm curious to see how it progresses. So I will see you again with this on Tuesday. And until then, I wish you a good evening first and a relaxing nice weekend. Yeah, take care of yourselves. Careful with the heat outside. Please hydrate. It's horrible. It's horrible. I have never ever been more grateful for the invention of AC. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Thanks for joining. You have been lovely. Love you all and have a good night. Bye bye. Plus 31 tomorrow. It's been 37 in Romania. Not necessarily here, but in Romania I've heard it's reached 37 and maybe even past. So, yay! Summer! Yeah, take care of yourselves. Bye bye.